And I can't see you guys anymore. FYI. Right, start recording. Yay, there you guys are. Yay!
Today's show is brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio. With a comprehensive lineup of both wired and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams, EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio.
The closed headset allows you to tap into exceptionally detailed audio and seals out ambient noise, while the open version delivers natural high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage. Both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone and a sleek design that has no wild RGB configurations, just good design.
Listeners can save 15% by visiting www.eposaudio.com/gaming and entering the code EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout. That's EPOSFRIEND 15 at checkout. Welcome back to the Tokyo Fresh Podcast. I'm your host, Oni. Tokyo Network.
Don't forget that. That's
I will never forget it. I'm your host, Jordan, and I'm here with Dave. And today, we have a guest. We have Kinsey on the chat. Hello. Thank you for joining us all the way from Kyoto.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks so much.
Absolutely bloody fantastic. So we're going to be asking a ton of questions. Before we dive into that, guys, are you guys okay? You guys feeling chill? We had a little conversation before the podcast started, and everyone's talking about how they're basically dying of heat-related illnesses.
Yeah, it's not super bad here. How bad is it in Kyoto? I imagine you're more south than Tokyo. So
Yeah,
worse.
and Kyoto has this really fun thing where it is just a giant bowl. So all of the heat and all the like swamp air just collects in this bowl of Kyoto, and it's so hot and it's so humid, and it's just it's a beautiful city.
I do love Kyoto, honestly. Like, it's one of those cities that every time I go back to it, I'm like, wow, Kyoto, do you know what? You're not bad. You're doing well. You're pretty cool. But then, like, living there for me is like a completely, like, I wouldn't ever think about living there. So I'm gonna dive right into it. Kinsey, why did you choose to live in Kyoto? Or did you choose to live in Kyoto? What is going on there?
I don't know if Kyoto would have been my first choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially given Kyoto summers. But I moved here for a job. So I am a producer at Chuhai Labs, which is an indie video game studio over here in Kyoto. It's pretty rad. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, that's so cool. Like, I think you're living the dream of a lot of, I don't want to say weebs, but weebs.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Because in a sense, what you're doing is you're designing cool games in like Japan's like ancient capital. That's kind of sick,
right? I mean,
yeah,
like, you could design games anywhere, really, right?
Like,
that's not like a location-based profession.
No. It's place, place Japan. It's the same thing. It's like
Sure, okay.
you can
Mhm.
eat, you can drink like a Coke anywhere, but then like I've seen people like take photos of like Coke in Japan and be like, oh my god, I'm drinking a Coke, but it's
Yeah.
Japan, so
it
it's
was
cooler.
Japan, so it's cooler. Yeah, literally, it's like
Sure.
chill. It's
I
like
mean,
that
at least
basically.
Kyoto, it's like right in Nintendo's backyard. And I think that's
right.
what a lot of
Yes,
people
yeah.
think of. Yeah.
Nintendo started in Kyoto.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
a Hanafuda
yeah.
card company.
Yeah, because like
Yes.
you can go to the original building and it's a hotel now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Wait, you can stay in like the. You can stay there, right? You can like.
Yeah, you can stay there in like the original Nintendo where they made the Hanafuda cards.
Is it like themed? Do like they still own it,
It's-
or is it like?
It's like themed like really Art Deco with very
That's so
small
cool.
amounts of Nintendo,
That's
like because they
so
still
cool.
want it to be fancy.
Right.
And it's
so
kind of
they're still like,
expensive.
oh, we can still kind of make money off of Nintendo's
Yeah.
branding.
I kind of
Yeah.
want to stay there now. That's really cool. What the heck?
I don't know if it still is, but when they first opened, it was like an all-inclusive kind of package.
Okay.
So like
Ooh.
included like meals and alcohol and everything, but it was like $800 a night.
Ooh.
Ooh,
So-
suddenly I'm like, I'm all right.
Unless that comes with like a fucking Nintendo Switch, I don't want nothing to do with that. Or
Right?
at least a Joy-Con. Like mine are starting to drift, and I want
At least one Joy-Con.
Just one. Just the left
just the
one.
left one.
Just the left one.
Just the left one, please. I'm trying to play Zelda. Shit just will not stop drifting.
But it is like right next to one of my favorite craft beer places in Kyoto, so I mean that's great.
Is it Kyoto Brewery?
Kyoto Beer Lab.
Beer Lab, that's so good. Yeah,
It's
I did
so
see that.
good.
Like, you really like craft beer, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's one of
kind
your
of a
like,
problem.
bro. No, it's cool. 'Cause, like, what happens is, so I also enjoy a cheeky craft beer, and yesterday we were at Jay's house, friend of the show, and I bought like 20 different like craft beers, just to like. It was very very good night. Everyone's drinking, having cake.
I
But
was
then-
like, was that $500? Like,
Yes, literally. It was like 6,000 yen for all the
Yeah.
beers. It was ridiculous, but delicious. So
yeah, worth it.
it's worth
Yeah.
it, yeah. But then what I do is that your Instagram is basically like beer and then games and then like cool stuff. So I'll be
Mhm.
on your Instagram and I'm like, oh my god, what craft beer is this? I must try it. And I'll go out and I'll find the beer to try because doing the research, finding good craft beer is hard, and I don't like.
Yeah.
Because like for those who don't know, one craft beer in Japan is about 600 yen, and your firstborn child. So it's pretty
Mhm.
expensive. So if you f up and you buy the wrong one, which I've done before,
Yeah, then you're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is not gonna be a good time. Like
Yeah.
now, I just have a whole bunch of beer that I don't like, and I'm
Yeah.
not gonna drink.
it's awful. So like,
Yeah, and like at a brewery or any sort of craft beer tap room, all the pints are at like a pint is like 1,000 yen.
yes, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Oh my god, when you go to I'm trying to think where it is. So in like the UK, for example, you get like the thing that's on tap, and that's the cheapest thing. So it'll be like, oh, give me the on tap beer, and it'd be like, yeah, sure, that's like, give me a sturdy handshake and spit in my mouth, and that's more than enough money to cover this beer, basically. But then like,
Yeah.
same thing in like anywhere in Japan, you go to like a tap house, and it's like, oh, you want it on tap, do you? That's gonna be 3,000 yen for like not even a pint. It's like,
And then half of it is head because we live in Japan.
Yeah. Which I don't understand. They even have the like special machines,
The
you know,
foamer.
like
yeah,
it like fills
Why?
it part way and then it starts filling on purpose with foam.
it's horrible. Oh,
What?
I found out what it is as well. You pull the draft, and it will start like filling it with like beer, the thing you're paying for, and then once they reach like 70%, they have like a backdraft, and they like wrench the
Yeah.
thing backwards, and it just starts filling with foam, and I'm like, no, that's waste product. Don't
Yeah.
don't put that in my cup. Like, give me my drink.
If
What the
if
fuck?
I could have beer and like not have any of that and just it be all gone,
Yeah.
that would be preferable.
I've
but-
actually
Yeah.
done some cheeky things in certain. There's a place near me called Coaster, I think it's called. It's like pretty good fries. Actually, the food's pretty good. The beer is like always like really cool IPAs from around like around Japan. And the guy who works there is, I believe, French. So the first pint he ever poured me was like a real pint. It was like the glass was full. of
Okay.
beverage, and I was like, I will be back to drink here again because I feel like I'm
Yeah.
getting my money's worth. But then when you pause like for Japanese customers, it's like 90% head, and everyone's like, oh, greatest pour I've ever seen. I'm like, guys, in the UK, that's a war crime. Like, you would be taken out
Yeah.
and shot for that kind of shit.
I'm glad that he like understands though. He's like, oh,
He gets it.
this person's not gonna want all head.
He
Like,
gets it. Yeah, he gets it. He gets it. It's a great place. We should go next time.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
very, very
let's do
fun.
it.
It's cool.
So Kinsey, you moved from Seattle to
Mhm.
Japan. In Seattle, were you doing game dev stuff there as well as a producer, or is this like you've gone into the industry now and you said, well, screw it, I'm moving to Japan too. Let's just do 8 new things at once and go for it.
Let's get it. Yeah.
I mean, kinda like it. I
cool.
have kind of a crazy like job history, which I think like I guess a lot of people kind of do. But like before I worked in games, I worked in science. I actually went to school for science and everything. Like
Okay.
I worked in a soils lab for like 10 years, and my specialty was building runways for airports. So, I mean,
what
like,
the fuck?
Wait, hold on. There's a lot of words just happened there. So wait, so you worked in a soils, as in a lab that's focused on like soil, like dirt, like soil.
Yes, yes.
That's
For like agriculture, or just it builds nice?
no,
For
dude, for
construction.
airports.
Well,
yeah,
no, that
for
came after.
Oh shit! Wait, what?
So that's what I did professionally like
So
before,
cool.
and I did that for like 10 years. But I always worked
Wow.
in like games on the side. Like I
Okay.
basically had 2 jobs. Like I worked events and PR for Devolver and like a few other companies
Okay,
for
That's cool.
like a number of years.
Mm.
And like I just kind of met people through networking, got into the games industry, and like but never really got on full time.
Mhm.
Like I always had to have like some full-time job.
Yeah.
And I met Mark from Chuhai Labs on Twitter,
Your
and
co-host.
we
of-
just he's the co-host of
podcast.
Nasty Labs.
Yep.
And we just he was like, hey, like I think you'd be really great for this role that we're hiring for. And in the like negotiations of like getting the job, I kind of mentioned that like I have a lot of experience in PR,
Mm.
but I also don't love it. Like and he's like,
Mm.
okay, well, we also need a producer. So what if we like you help out with PR, but we really train you to be a producer?
That's cool.
And I was
actually.
just like, yes, 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 yes. That's what I want.
That's
Okay.
perfect. That's so
Yeah,
good.
It worked out strangely well. Like, except for the moving here, which took forever because, as everyone knows, there was COVID.
We're gonna, oh my
And-
god. Yeah.
So I guess
Wanna
we'll
get-
follow up with that question.
100%.
What has your journey been like going from Seattle to here? Because I can imagine that it
Mm.
wasn't exactly just like
Straightforward.
I hop on the plane, I land in Japan, I go to my house, I'm done.
I also
Yeah.
saw that you had a cat in
Yeah.
Seattle, and you also brought your cat to Japan as well, which
Yep,
is
she's here.
insane to me. That is, I want
It
to
was
bring my cat
a
over so
nightmare.
badly.
Like I wasn't gonna leave her behind,
Of course.
but like, about halfway through the process, I'm like, girl, like you better be worth it. If we arrive and you die, I will be so mad.
If we arrive and you don't like Japan, oh my god, I'm so
I'll
mad.
turn this car around. Like,
I can
Like-
yeah, because like Japan is like I know Japan has like insane rules about
strict, yeah.
transporting animals.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so in order to bring my cat here, she had to have like a million appointments, like including right before we went, there was a 10-day before the flight and a 4-day before the flight. But you have to
Wow.
start the process like 8 months ahead of time because the animal has to go into a 6-month quarantine.
6 months.
6
Yeah,
months?
because Japan, as an island nation, doesn't have rabies. Like it doesn't exist on the island,
Oh,
and
wait, really?
they want to keep it that way. So
Wow.
like 8 months prior, basically you start everything because it takes a while to get the results. So she has to have
Mhm.
like the initial rabies vaccine to start the process.
Yep.
Then a rabies titers test where it's like a blood test to see if she actually has rabies antibodies.
Okay.
Because some cats, I guess, can be vaccinated, but they don't have the appropriate antibody count or something. So she has to have that. Make sure she's actually sort of immune and vaccinated against rabies. And then the
Wow.
6-month quarantine can start. And like, Yeah,
That-
6 months. And if you move before the 6 months is up, then she has to sit at the airport at like cat jail for the duration.
Oh no!
Not cat jail.
Not cat,
Cat jail.
I don't know. I think as a person, cat jail might be kind of lit.
I would listen as a human going into cat jail. I'd be like, you're under arrest, Jordan, for crimes. You're going to prison. No, cat prison. No, don't, no, cat. Will I have a bunkmate? You'll have 3. No.
How will I survive?
Oh no. Yeah. Fucking cats all day. Let's go.
I mean, I guess knowing now that like Japan animals don't have rabies, that explains why there are so many like feral cats and stuff outside that aren't dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My area
I'm
has.
And how
I'm
you can just
learning.
have like a community cat.
Yeah.
My area
Like,
has
even
3.
though there's no rabies, there's like apparently all the cats have FIP, which is
Yes.
also not great.
It's like what, cat HIV or something like that, right?
Yeah, really similar to
That's
that.
the stuff you get from like the scratches and stuff, right?
Yeah. I think
Mm.
so. I couldn't know for sure, but yeah. Apparently,
I'm
so,
not a biologist.
Yeah. Me
Listen,
neither.
Unlike Kinsey, I am
But-
not a scientist.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, bringing her, like, she loves it here now that we're here, but it
That's
was
nice.
a nightmare. At least the one thing that was
Hmm.
good about not knowing when the border was going to open was that the 6 months just flew by for her. Like, we were stuck anyway, so it didn't really matter that she was in quarantine
Mm.
because she can quarantine, like, at my house.
So it's
So-
chill, yeah. It was
Right.
Yeah,
nothing
so
too
it ended
crazy.
up not being that big of a deal. But like the adventure of physically getting her here during COVID was such a nightmare. Like the appointments beforehand or whatever, that's fine. 10-day, 4-day.
Yep.
Solved.
Mhm.
It's easy. But like the airlines were, I don't know if you guys flew at all during COVID, but
Horrible.
like
No,
it was
I didn't.
awful. Like
Mm.
I had to fly into Osaka because wherever I landed was where I quarantined, so I couldn't fly into Tokyo.
Oh no.
So I had to find a
Oh.
flight, and the Seattle to Osaka flight was canceled during COVID, and
Yep.
it hasn't come back yet.
It might
So-
not, honestly.
Yeah, so I had to transfer at LAX, which if you've ever been to LAX, it's like the worst airport.
I've heard stories, yeah.
And
not
the
good.
airline made me uncheck her at the layover.
Why?
So I
That
had to
seems
go
bad.
to baggage claim, get her, and I saw her. It was the saddest thing. All the lights were off in the baggage claim that she was in.
Oh.
And like she's just sitting there in the corner by herself, and her like water bottle's like broken off the outside of her cage and just gone. And I was like, cool. So the hour-and-a-half flight, she had water.
Right, but then
But
after
not the
that, who
next one.
knows?
Oh, that's
And so-
horrible.
Since it was a layover, I was technically already checked in for my flight. And so when I got to the check-in desk, and the shuttle wasn't running, so I had to walk
Fuck off.
from the baggage claim to departures, international departures, which is really far. And then the check-in counter was closed.
Of course.
Right.
And I got a notification on my phone that like my flight was boarding, and I'm on the other side of security. My husband is on the plane,
No.
and it was just one of those things where I had to like almost Karen out just a little bit to be like,
Oh yeah.
if no one takes my cat, like
I mean, there's
I
only
can't
so
get on
much
the plane,
fuckery you can take, right?
you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And like because of COVID, the next flight there was only flights every Saturday. So like my husband would have gone without me, and I wouldn't have been able to go till a week later.
Oh
And
no.
so it ended up being like one Japan Airlines employee like running me to the gate on his little walkie-talkie, like we're
Hell
coming, we're
yeah.
coming, we're coming, we're coming.
Mhm.
You know, and we're like running,
Service.
and it's like the
Service.
furthest gate, and I was about to literally die.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got on the plane, and since no one scanned my cat, I was like, "Is she on the plane?" And they were like, "We don't know." And I was like, "What do you mean you don't know?"
How do you not know where my fucking cat is? No, we're fighting.
I would have thought that they would have like boarded the cat anyway because your husband's on the flight anyway.
Yeah.
That, like that luggage
Yeah.
usually luggage, but
luggage.
Yeah.
it usually goes regardless of if you're on the plane or not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because but I had to uncheck her, so I had to like go to baggage
Right.
claim and
Okay.
get
So
her.
technically,
Yeah.
she's not like
Yeah.
in the system anymore. Okay.
Mm.
Jeez.
So like
Just let me
right
bring my cat
outside
on the
security, one person took my cat, one person took me, and both ran in opposite directions. And I'm like, oh my god.
plane. Wow. Service. When
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
when I've had any issues at like an airline or there's been some fuckery or something's going on, I'm always like, this is dumb. I don't know who you are, but you can fuck off. Can someone bring me an employee from Japan Airline? And if not, ANA. I'll accept those 2 services and nothing else. Because
they'll actually help you.
Yes, they're like, how, sir, you've bought this overpriced ticket. How can I help you? What can I do to make this less painful? You know what I mean? Any other flight that is like, oh, you paid money for a ticket? Dumbass.
Kind of.
Fucking idiot. You're flying with us today? Fucking stupid. That's it. Like the entire is nothing. Fucking hate it.
Yeah, like nothing started moving until I actually started talking to a Japan Airlines employee. And then things
I'm not
started
surprised
happening.
by that at all.
Not surprised. I've had the same
What a
problem.
nightmare.
It's ridiculous. You as soon as you talk to Japan, like a Japan airline employee, they're like, "We'll get this done. Let's get this done, boys." It's so good. I love it. This is why I fly Japan Airline. I only fly JAL. I only fly JAL. Or like anyone that's on the there's like an air mile thing that JAL
like
is in.
The partner airlines?
Yeah. I forgot what it's called.
Asia something.
Yeah. I only fly them because like that family of airlines are really good. Like they all they're pretty fucking.
All Nippon Airways.
All Nippon Airways are good as well. Yeah, they're not bad at all, honestly. Yeah, good stuff. So that was the cat. And also getting your cats to Japan is absolutely that's ridiculous. What about the humans?
It was actually a lot easier than the cat.
Jeez.
Go figure.
It was mostly just the delays that were the biggest issue and not knowing when we're going to move and like trying to pack up all of our shit and like the moving company kept being like, when do you want us to pick it up? And I'm like, I don't know.
Your guess good as mine, bro.
So it was a very like up in the air time and like all my friends are like, when are you leaving? And I'm like, I don't know. Like
vibes. Yeah.
But I was still like working like from home, like partial Japan hours.
Wow.
So
it was up in like the middle of the night.
It was crazy times. Like I got it so it wasn't too bad for me. Like I worked like 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. or so. So I overlapped with Japan for like 4 or 5 hours. So it wasn't too bad. But yeah.
I think I was doing
goodbye social life.
Oh, dead. No, honestly, I was doing when I went back over Christmas. I had like a week or 2 weeks where I was like working still, but I had to work with like some overlap with Japan hours. But for those who don't know, UK to Japan, ridiculous. So I think I was working like 4 a.m. or like 5 a.m. till like midday. And I get it. People are like, because then we had like a couple hours like overlapping when you have meetings and stuff. And some of my friends were like, "Oh, that's great. You know, midday we can all hang out. Blah blah blah." I'm like, "Bro, I need to take a nap. I've been up since 4 a.m. I need to sleep for like 3 hours minimum. Like, come on. Like, it's horrible, honestly." But then, of course, going back to Kingsley, you were working remotely, right, for Juhai Labs, bar based in Seattle. How was that? Like, because that was like a year. You were saying?
Yeah, like a little over a year.
Wow. That's a long time to be working remotely on a weird ass schedule.
Wow.
Yeah, like especially during the week, like social life gone. Like 10 p.m. I'm like, who wants to hang out?
And
like,
the week shifted too because they're a day ahead. So your Friday in Seattle is already Saturday in Japan.
Yeah, so I worked Sunday to Thursday.
Yuck.
Yeah.
No. Sunday to Thursday?
I don't know, having Friday off might not be that bad.
Nah, but the thought of working on a Sunday... David, that's the Lord's Day.
Can't do that.
The Queen's on my money, David. I can't do that. In God we trust, David.
She's on my money, too.
Exactly, so you should get it, David. Listen, it's a Sunday. I can't work on the Sabbath.
She's dead. Get her off.
No!
Bye-bye.
No. Until the Queen is removed from the money, she's still the Commander-in-Chief. We respect that.
Okay. Sure.
But I guess long story short, that was a crazy year and a half. And now I'm here. So yay. Wow. And I got to do all the fun new like bureaucracy bullshit things of moving to Japan. That we all know and love.
The best part, guys, listen. The best part of moving to Japan is the bureaucracy. You have never seen bureaucracy until you've come to Japan. It is. Hi, could you please fill out this form? Yeah, sure. In triplicate.
Yeah.
Can't I just fill it out once and you photocopy it? No.
No.
No, of course not. Now, could you sign here? Okay. So your Hanko? Oh, I've just got another Hanko.
Yeah.
In that case,
So-
you got to fill in this form.
This form, and
Yeah.
then go to that window.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I opened my bank account, they were like, "Are we gonna do Honko or sign?"
Mm,
And they were like, "You know what? Let's do sign because we're trying to move over.
Yes.
Like
Mm.
we're with it. We're
Yep,
hip."
We're hip.
And then I signed something, and then I signed another thing, and
Mm.
she was like,
Boy.
"Those signatures aren't the same enough."
Yes. No.
And I was
yes.
like, "Well, it's not a stamp. I'm writing it every time."
Mhm. I had a man when I was like joining like a JP post. I signed two things, and he held up the signatures to the light, and then put
them
literally
like this,
yes, he
see if
put
they
them.
matched.
Yeah, he put them like I was like, bro, you just saw me do this twice. He's just like,
Yeah.
so you're Mr. Green, are you? I've literally my passport is in my hand. You're literally looking
Why
at
don't
my
you just
signatures.
get me a tracing table?
Bro,
and I could
just
do
get
all
me
of
a
them at the
tracing
same time.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Dude, no one bureaucracies like Japan. It is honestly an art form in of itself. Honestly, it's bloody
Yeah.
fantastic.
And I found out, so apparently it's a thing in Kyoto where their addresses are fucked.
Yes.
So like,
Oh,
yeah, because I have two
Kyoto.
different addresses. One's the really long one, and one
Mm.
is like a shortened version I can use for like Amazon and
Mhm,
postal
right.
stuff. But
Yeah.
like, I didn't know that. And when I got my house, I like went to the ward office and I was like, "Here's my address. Here's all my forms. Here's all my things. I'm so good at this." And they're like, "But what's your real address?"
Where do you?
And I was like,
live?
"What?"
I was choked. That's so funny.
It's like,
So
I
real
saw it
address.
on like I forget, it was like a TV show I was watching on TV.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
there was like a
Mm.
name of a street and it
Mm.
was like 3 lines fucking long of
Yes.
just kanji. Like it
Yes.
was like 40
Yeah.
kanji long and I'm like, what the fuck?
They're using
My address, my real one, is so long. I could never write it if I wanted to.
Is that why they have the shortened addresses? Because like the real ones are too long.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You must because like I bet you if you had to like fill that out in like an address form on Amazon or something, it'd be like it's too many characters.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like where do you live?
Yeah.
Why do you have like 50 characters in your address?
I want to meet the guy
Yeah.
that lives on like fucking Kyomi Dera Boulevard or some shit. It's just like the longest ancient kanji. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
to man.
Because
Stupid.
like my long address is basically my short address, so
Mm.
it's like city, ward, neighborhood.
Mm.
But my long one is like city, ward, neighborhood, cross street, other cross street, this street, and it's like so long.
Why?
And so it was really funny, like when he was like, "Okay, what's your real address?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I show him on Google Maps like exactly where my house is with the like longitude, latitude. I got everything.
Hmm.
And bro like pulls his glasses down, like gets a magnifying glasses, is looking at my phone, and then he like pulls out like 7 books.
To look to see what
Yeah,
the
there
short
was, like, a-
version is.
Yeah, like a book of zip codes, like 2 maps. And he's like has all these books spread out on this desk, and he's like looking at my phone and then looking back down, and then he's just like, "We'll figure this out." And I'm like, "What is happening?" Like
Man
he
put
pulled
out
out so
a
many books.
world atlas.
Yeah, and then he like finally he was like, "This is it, we got it. This is your long address." And I'm like,
Pull
"Cool."
up my
And so then
encyclopedia of
I
fuckery.
get home and I email my real estate agent and I was like, "Hey, so this happened." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, this is your long address." But then it wasn't the same as what the guy picked. And I sent him a copy of my residence card. I'm like, "Well, this is the one that he said." He goes, "Oh yeah, no, I think that's the right one." And I was like, "Wait, you don't know?"
Wait, so no one knows?
Maybe it's the right one. Who knows? I don't know.
Like
Next year you're
Kyoto's
just
so
gonna be a
weird.
ghost person and not have a house. Who cares?
I recently had the
So
city of
dumb.
Kyoto come to my house to like
Mm.
measure the property lines.
Hmm.
And it was the funniest thing because they're like, "Oh, we're redrawing the map." And I was
Nice.
like, "Okay." But they were like measuring things and they were all like him and Han because there was this rock that
Oh,
was like in the fence of
Mhm.
my behind me neighbor.
Who's wrong?
And it's sticking out farther than the fence. And they're all like, "Ooh, this rock is here, but it's technically on this property,
it's a
but it's
fucking rock. You
connected
can have it.
connected to that fence." And it was like a 25-minute long conversation. And there was like this shitty piece of like bent metal, and they were like trying to bend it back to my neighbor's side,
That's
and I'm
so
like,
funny.
what is happening?
I love Japan. They're like,
Isn't it great?
like,
It was
oh,
really
guys,
entertaining.
we're gonna have to split this rock right down the middle.
Man just pulls out like a chainsaw.
Man pulls out an ancient like hammer and chisel. He's like, we gotta do this, but we gotta do it in the Kyoto way.
Right. 'Cause everything has to be old.
It's gotta be old, so we gotta make sure. And everyone's like, ching ching, way. It's like, you know that thing, you know the yoy.
Yeah.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but it's the hammer and chisel.
With the hammer and chisel.
Oh man, Kyoto's whimsical as fuck. This is great.
Right?
Gotta move
It's
to
been a
Kyoto.
great experience. I love it.
Oh my god, David.
Yes.
Before we dive into more questions, do you want to quickly do the?
Sure. Yeah. We can go to the mid.
Because I completely forgot until just now.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll get there.
Guys, we are gonna have a very quick cross promotion from another podcast on the network. We'll be back in like 30 seconds. Hang tight.
Alex, hi, I'm Ray. How would you explain our show No More Whoppers?
Are you a nerd having trouble transitioning from your 20s to 30s to 40s and beyond? Age with us, not at us.
I'm already gray.
Are you tired of the man keeping you down? If you see something, say something. Do you enjoy the family computer? Capsule computing. We got them all. No more Whoppers. We outlived the queen. She said it couldn't be done.
No, I'm fading.
Come back. I can't do this alone. Do you enjoy number munchers? And is numbers what you call
Then listen to No More Whoppers.
only on the Tokyo Beat Network?
That's such a good one.
Yeah. That's.
I like
It's
that
very.
one a lot.
It's very snappy.
It's
and
really
weird.
good. Yeah, and we're back. Fucking hilarious. Let's talk about games, boys.
Yes.
Because we are all gamers. Some are
Some more than others.
some more than others. If the gamer scale is a 0 to 10, 10 being like this is my life, I think I'm like maybe a 4 on the gamer scale, maybe a 5. I'll play some games, but I'm really bad at completing the games.
Yeah.
David, where do you go in the gamer scale?
I would probably say I'm like closer to 7 or 8 at least.
I agree.
How about you, Kinsey? If you're gonna
Yeah,
1 to 10
probably
on that.
7 or 8.
7 or 8. Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense. That
probably.
checks out.
Yeah.
I see that you're also a retro game hunter, Kinsley.
I am.
Yes, I've seen your like there's a picture that just had like your wall of like retro games
So
in
sick.
the background. I'm like,
So
Yeah.
oh shit, like
Yeah.
you went pretty ham when you came here. Did you have that stuff before and brought it with you, or did you pick up most of that stuff when you were here?
So that picture is from my house in Seattle.
Oh,
And
wow.
I had like a huge collection in Seattle, but I sold like 75% of it to move.
Whoa.
Unfortunate.
It was like weirdly emotional. I'm
It
like,
would be.
Kinsey, these are video games. And I'm like crying. Like,
No, Pokemon Adventure 2.
yeah, it was like an odd moment. Like, but yeah, I was like a huge collector for many, many years. I was a contributor on the Metal Jesus Rocks YouTube channel,
I saw that. It's
which
cool.
is like a big like retro collector channel. And so I did that for a long time. And like, it's kind of weird, like selling 75% of a collection. Moving here, I thought I would go ham because all the trips I've had here, I like filled up suitcases and took so much shit home with me. But like now that I'm here, and since I like got rid of so much stuff, it was kind of freeing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, I'm free from the habit, you know? Like, I mean, not that I'm not buying anything, trust
Yeah, of
me,
course.
but just not nearly as much as I thought I would.
What was-
Also, getting rid of stuff is really difficult
yes.
and triple difficult in Japan. So
Triple difficult in Japan, like selling stuff, you mean, or?
yeah, like selling stuff, or I mean, like getting rid of big furniture, getting rid of big items in
okay.
general is a
Yeah.
pain too.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't want to accumulate too much until I know this is my forever home.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. 100%. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I don't want to get too many big things. I know, like, I'm eventually gonna move to like I'm in an apartment now, so I'll eventually move to an actual house. But like,
Yeah.
watching my friends like leave the country and move, and having to like get rid of things.
Offload everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It took my friend 2 months to get rid of his. He had like a small like sofa chair style thing, and it
Mhm.
took him so long because he applied for special permission and a special document thing that you stick to the sofa so you can put it outside.
For garbage.
Yeah.
Yomi.
Yeah, to tell the people, hey, look, this is Gummy, and I've done the things that I need to do to get this thing thrown away.
Right.
But they have their special big Gummy collection is only like once a month, and he applied for it, and they were like, you've missed the apply deadline.
Oh God.
The fuck?
If it's there when you come, pick it up.
Bro, nope. They're like, you missed the it's currently November the 4th, and the apply deadline was November 1st. You've missed the deadline, sir. You're gonna have to do it in December. And it's like, oh wait, when's the Gummy pickup for November? Oh, it's November 22nd.
What?
Yeah, it's like, why?
What? I was there like translating, and I was like, wait, what? Did I translate that wrong? Am I stupid?
The deadline should be November 21st if it's on the 22nd.
Yeah.
No, David, we need time to look at the documents and go,
That's garbage.
It's wild.
The entire time. I agree. No, it's very hard to throw things away, honestly. Like, do you have any games currently? Well, sorry, I'll start from the beginning. What games have you bought recently? Any new retro games have you picked up? Anything interesting?
So
Anything cool?
recently, I have a thing with controllers and controller variants.
Go on.
I love them. I love them. And Japan has a lot of really strange controllers.
They do.
They do a lot of
So-
like, limited edition
Yeah.
things.
It's cool.
So I've been on the hunt for all of those, and I go to like Hard Offs and Sudagaya and
So
stuff
good.
and try to find stuff. And so I recently bought like the Kid Station controller, which is for the PlayStation, and it's basically a giant 4-button control. It's huge, and it's for little kid games, but it's
I
so
don't think I've
stupid. And I
ever-
bought
like I know a lot about like video game like peripherals and like other shit. I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Oh my
The
god.
Kid Station,
this is
yeah.
so fucking cool. It's just
Yeah.
a giant. It's just
Like, how
it's
giant
just,
are we
it's
talking about?
fucking
Yeah.
huge.
it's basically like
God, what
the
the-
like
It looks like a Dance Dance Revolution, Matt.
yeah, it's crazy.
What the
And I
fuck?
got like a pachinko controller because why not? Like, there's like that huge Famicom controller that has the keyboard and everything on it. That's so you can like
so you
do
play, like,
you can bet on horses and do your banking on your Famicom.
Yeah. That was we
love
used
all
that
of
for like
that.
another game too. Was it like it wasn't like Mario Paint or something had like a typing feature? I don't remember which game you would use it for, but there was another game that like specifically had a keyboard function.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like there's so many like wild controllers and I'm such a sucker.
I've just found the pachinko controller. It's fucking cool.
Isn't it cool?
It's so cool. This is it.
Is it just to play like virtual pachinko?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You know, some Oji-chan is like he's still got the controller. He's just like just fucking
Yeah.
going.
And
at
there's
it.
a really cute Hudson version of the pachinko controller and it's like adorable.
Is it like yellow with the B on it?
Yeah, and
The
it's like
old
yellow and
Hudson.
blue. Yeah.
That's so cool. My gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Oh, that's it.
I'm such a sucker for like weird things that I'll probably never use
I get
or
that.
like I got this little kid Sailor Moon trivia game for the Playdia that I like cannot wait to get a Playdia because it'll be like
What the fuck is a
partially
Playdia?
What's a
my
Playdia?
like partially my bad like Japanese reading skills, but also Sailor Moon trivia, and I like can't wait. That's gonna be the best like drinks girls night ever.
Oh, dude, I'll play Sailor Moon trivia.
Oh,
Like
100%.
that'd be so fun.
I found no Playdias.
What? That looks like some like weird amalgamation of like
A
It looks
Dreamcast.
like it looks
Yeah.
like someone took a GameCube and squished it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like similar colors.
It's the bastard child of like a GameCube and a Dreamcast.
Oh, it's made by Bandai.
Mhm. And like I'm because I think maybe it's because I already collected so much like regular stuff. Now I'm just getting into like the super weird. Like I got a Yamaha Copira for 300 yen because it didn't have any cables or anything.
Oh yeah,
Which-
yeah.
Like, but it used standard cables, so it was super easy to set up. And then, like it's kind of like a Sega Pico, but it has like MIDI out and a bunch of like really like different inputs.
Is
So
your
you
next
can
question,
do,
Jordan,
like-
what's a Sega Pico?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
the Sega little kid edutainment system.
Yeah.
So
It came out around the same time as like Dreamcast-ish, right? Like a little.
I think so. Yeah. Like mid 90s, late 90s. Yeah.
I didn't know what a Yamaha code.
Copira.
Yeah, so I didn't know what that was, and I just typed in whatever I thought I heard. So what I accidentally typed in was Yamaha Kodiaku 450, which turns out is a 4x4 dirt truck.
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna
So
say.
I was like, how do you plug this in? How do you game
That's my favorite video game system.
I was like, bro, this is sick, man.
4x4.
It's portable.
watch me revving into Sonic 2. It's so quiet. In the fucking living room.
Gotta go fast.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. You're like, oh, I gotta go to the store. Let me just take it. I can just play Sonic on the way. Let's go.
Let me jump onto my Dreamcast.
It's got like a VMU slot in the fucking handlebars.
God, that would be amazing.
The key's just like a
It'd
massive
be
game
so
slot thing.
stupid.
Dude, fuck yeah. That's so good. Do you have any hit list games, like games that you desperately want to get,
Like
but
things, yeah.
yeah, games are like things that you want, but you just cannot find it. I had one for years, and I finally got it like a couple years ago, and it is as good as I remember. It was Gotcha Force for the GameCube.
Yeah.
I got it. I found it. I bought it. I bought it before I had the GameCube, and then like bought a GameCube like from hard off. It's so cheap. It was like 4,000 yen for all the wires plus 2 controllers. Japan's crazy. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah, like I bought my Famicom for like, I think like maybe I've spent maybe Ichiman,
Maybe.
but it's the console, all the cables, 2 controllers, and I probably have like 20 games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so silly. I love it, honestly. But yeah, so like mine was Gotcha Force, and then I got it. Then I was like, I can die happy. I'm good. This is all I wanted. Is there any games that you're like, or things that you're like, once I find this, it's over for you bitches?
I really want the Panasonic Q. It's like a GameCube that also plays DVDs that like looks really cool, and it has, I don't know why, but I really want it. But the longer I wait, the more expensive it is. And now I think I will never get it.
Whoa.
Isn't
I've
it
never
cool?
heard of it.
This is so fucking sick.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got a fucking fax machine on top.
Bro, it
Yeah.
better.
Right?
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a super GameCube.
Yeah, this is like the GameCube you see in like a American like teenage sitcom. They're like, I'm gonna play the video sphere.
I'm gonna play the
Yeah.
game. Box. Jeez. Yo, this is so expensive.
Really? How much
Yeah.
is it?
The cheapest one I found at a glance. This is at a glance.
Yeah.
Is about 80,000.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The
8,000
longer I
yen.
wait, the more I
Wow.
think I'm never going to get it.
Oh,
Because
wait.
even though I'm like a collector,
Mm.
I'm also notoriously cheap. So like I'm not going to
Fair.
pay that much. To
No, I
get
get that. No, fully. No, 100%. 100%. I was the same way.
I
Like,
like-
I found like Gotcha Force in like a book off somewhere in the middle of Shibuya or something like that. And it was like, wow, classic Gotcha Force game. Ichiman Gosen, please pay me $150 for this game. And I'm like, yeah,
No
no.
thanks.
No, the fuck? Are you silly? And then I found it at the store near me for like
400
Yeah,
yen.
like little what was like $60. Bought it.
But even that though is
Yeah.
like,
It was a
not
lot.
too bad.
No, not bad at all, honestly.
It definitely depends on where you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
So Kinsey, when you're like looking for something specific, are you mostly doing it like online, or are you just like, oh, I'm going to like Tokyo for business, so I'm gonna hit
Mhm.
like this place, this place, this place, this place, this place, and just go find what I can.
Like I definitely prefer to find things in the wild because like as
That's
a
half the
collector, you
fun.
it's like the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
Like sure, I could go find it online, and sometimes you can find really good deals, but most of the time it's just eBay prices,
Yeah,
which
true,
is
right.
like the top of the top.
true.
So I don't know. Like I definitely prefer to find things in the wild. And like if I am going somewhere on business or on vacation, like I went to Shizuoka and Fukuoka a few months ago, and I definitely hit up like all the local game
See,
stores.
those are the
and, like,
places to
yeah.
go because they
Yes.
don't get tracked by tourists as
Yep.
much who
Yeah.
will take stuff out of country.
True.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they
I
have,
went to
like,
this
weird
place
stuff.
in Fukuoka. Like I just looked up like retro game store in Japanese, and like I found this place, and I was like, oh, that place looks really cool, bro. I went there. It was just some dude's apartment,
Let's go.
and it was
Yep.
so cool. And he was like nice enough, Like he was totally fine,
Mm.
but it just felt so weird.
Yeah.
Like we got there, and at first I didn't knock because I was like, "This
It's a
is
store.
just an apartment."
Yeah.
But we went in, and it was literally just this guy's apartment with like games all over the place, and
Huh.
some had prices.
That's so weird.
Weird. Okay.
It was
That's so
wild.
weird.
And there was a small part of me, I'm like, at least I'm in Japan, because I might be like,
True.
am I gonna get murdered
this
here?
is how I get stuck in the murder basement.
Bro, 100%.
Yeah.
You're loading me with games. How did you get caught? Well, I'm not sure what happened. There was a game on the floor, some kind of box contraption above it.
But he had a Sega Pico, so I thought it
Yeah.
was safe.
I grabbed the thing, it went dark. I don't know what happened. Couldn't get out the box. It's crazy. It's a washing basket. Couldn't get out. Don't know what happened. Fucking silly, dude.
It was wild, but it was really fun and just so like different, you know.
Dude, that's so much fun, honestly. There is something very fun about like jumping between different sort of secondhand game stores in Japan. My
Yeah.
go-to is like there's a book off. Not even it's near my house, but it's like a 20-minute walk. So it's not really near my
Mhm.
house. It's near nothing.
Mm.
But that's why I like that place, because like no one's ever there, but it's a
Yeah.
massive book off. So I just like spend hours walking around. I'm like, hey, do you guys got like fucking Pokemon Crystal for the Game Boy Advance? Like, yeah, of course. They have like every Pokemon game there. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So like stores like that, I'm like, I'll go there to see like what is being sold, what they have.
It's
Mhm.
for me, it's always the prices.
Bro.
They're so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like I grew up playing like a lot of JRPGs on the like PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So
too.
like when I go into a store and I see a game like Valkyrie Profile, which didn't had like an extremely limited run in North America and
Yep.
English,
Mhm.
and I see a like perfect copy, no scratches on the thing like at all. It's like
Mhm.
literally pristine, and they're like, it's 500 yen.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
how? What?
Always.
Yeah.
the
There's
time.
this recycle shop in Kyoto that like it doesn't specialize in games at all. It's like mostly furniture.
Cool.
But there's like this corner that usually has some games. And like last time I went, it was like almost all PlayStation RPGs.
Mm.
And all of his games ever have always been 100 yen. There's never price tags on them.
What the fuck?
And then because we bought like a big like cabinet for our kitchen,
Mm.
he was like, "No, that's a present." And I was like,
What a
"What?
guy.
Oh my god! Like,
What a guy.
what a guy!"
What is this is what I'm saying. There are certain like relationships you can very easily build up in Japan that I think
Mhm.
living in like other countries, you can't really build that up as easily. Like I got a cafe near my house that I often go to. I just go in there, hang out, talk to the owner for a bit, grab some coffee, and I'm on my way. Buy beans when I can, 'cause, beans are essential. Coffee is life.
Mhm.
And then like I went in there last time, I think like sometime last week, grabbed a coffee, and he's like, "Oh my god, Jordan, we got a new shipment of Kenyan beans in, freshly roasted." And I'm like, "That's crazy." I'm like, "All right, I'll give it a day and I'll come back and I'll grab some beans." He's like, No. I'm giving you like 200 grams. I'm like, "Bro, that's like 3,000 yen of beans." I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, cool. They take the beans." And I'm like, I'm not gonna say no.
Aw.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
Those beans.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly,
go. Like,
right?
it's stuff like that. Like, I love when you get into those situations of like different like small sellers and stuff that like you frequent. It's always
Yeah.
really warm inside. You're like,
Yeah, I love it.
It's nice, honestly. Let's on the topic of games,
Mhm.
let's talk about Cursed Golf. Have you seen this game?
Mm.
Yes, I have. Yeah,
Have you played it?
I have not played it.
Dude,
I should.
It's fucking sick.
So-
It's fucking sick, honestly.
It looks like, see, it's such a weird like amalgamation of
Mhm.
genres I like, and I'm
Yes.
surprised that I haven't played it yet
Mhm.
because I love roguelikes,
Yes.
I
Mhm.
love golf games,
Yes.
Uh-huh. Check.
and I love
Check.
like good pixel art.
Yep.
Check.
So it's just like
It's
it's
everything.
it's everything just in one.
Do you know what's funny as well? So like Kinsey, you like this.
Mhm.
One of my Japanese friends, he loves like mobile games. So he's
Mhm.
he's always like playing mobile games, playing various games, and he was playing this other golf game. It's like a weird game where like every level you play, the game gets a little bit like more like stranger. Like you, for one game, like you just hit the ball into the hole. Yeah, the game's over. Then the next round, like you hit the ball, but the golf, club
Mhm.
flies away instead. It's like stuff like that. It's
Sure, yeah,
weird.
yeah.
Ah.
And he goes to me, "Hey, do you know Cursed Golf?" And I go, wait.
So
I'm like,
hang on. I have to ask because I've heard you on your other on Nasty Labs,
Nasty Labs.
talk about the game as Cursed Golf.
Mm.
But the title is Cursed to Golf, correct?
Yes.
Cursed to Golf. Yeah.
Cursed to
I
Golf.
think it all
I call it
like
Cursed Golf.
I think I always say two, but I think it's all become one word at this point. Cursed to Golf.
It's Cursed Golf.
Yeah, I always call it Cursed
Cursed to
Golf.
Golf.
I don't know why. Cursed Golf. Cursed to Golf. Either way,
Cursed to Golf.
very fun game, honestly. It's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Were you there since the beginning of the development of the game, or did you
I
jump in,
kind of
like-
joined partway through.
Mhm.
And so I joined as producer, but then I ended up kind of like, because it's a really small team. It's essentially two people, Liam, the director, and Sean, the lead programmer.
Okay.
And then we, like, of course, we have our amazing artist, our amazing composer. But as far as in the office on the day to day, it's just the two of them. So when I joined as producer, but I ended up like, I mean, it's two people. There's not that much to produce.
At that
really.
point, you gotta wear some other hats, right?
Yeah. Yep. So it was really fun. Like I got to do some level design. I got to like in the levels, like basically I would be given a naked level that only has like collision, and I would put all the grass and all the statues and all the like all the art basically.
So
like I would art up the holes.
They've made like all the assets already, and then you're just
Yeah.
building it out in like a level creator.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And it was
Jeez,
like
that's cool.
so fun because before, like, I had really only done in the games industry like PR and all these things that are like post launch. So really getting to see like the nitty gritty of like making a game for the first time was like amazing. Because when I first joined the company, we were just about to launch Carve Snowboarding, which was our VR snowboarding game. And so I kind of came in at the tail end of that as well. So I didn't really get to see any of the actual like development. It was all like QA testing is mostly what I did, and then the marketing.
Okay.
So like even though I didn't join at the very beginning for Cursed to Golf, like I joined kind of halfway through, I still got to see a lot of that, and it was so fun. Like it kind of made me be like, what if I did levels? Like
Why not?
Why not? Like it's so and I think that's what I love about working in indie. Like if I was like a producer at EA or any other the big AAA companies, like that's all I would ever be able to do. Like I would just be stuck in spreadsheets and Jira all the time.
Yep.
And that's it.
None of the development side of stuff like ever comes to you. You're dealing with PR and
pretty much
stuff.
So like, but working indie, like you're like people are always your like shortest resource. So you get to do like and wear all the hats and do all these different things. Like it's great. I love working in indie.
Oh, that's good. I know it must take like a certain level of I would say commitment. I would say to work in like an indie games company or just like an indie company in general. I feel like you're doing like a lot. Like does it ever get too much? Does it ever get difficult? Are you hiring more people and you're like, we need to get as many people on as we can to do like X, Y, and Z, or is it more just like, it's a lot but you can handle it kind of thing? That's
kind of how it's been for Cursed to Golf. Like every project is really different,
of course, but
for Cursed to Golf it was very much like we're all hands on deck, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't too overwhelming most of the time. I'm sure maybe our lead programmer might say differently. but
just pulling like 12-hour days. Fuck you guys. You're home.
But yeah, it was wonderful. We launched it last August and it's been doing absolutely amazing. The reception has been great. And working on some small updates right now. So still chugging along with Cursed to Golf.
You're still doing like support. Are you planning to do like DLC or like extra courses or like modes and stuff going forward, or are you kind of like, okay, we're gonna move on to the next project, or like something's brewing?
I would say never say never and stay tuned.
Okay,
nice.
Okay.
It's actually so for those who are like on the fence, like, oh, should I? Because the Nintendo Switch version is coming out, right? It's coming out.
Nintendo Switch version is out. It's
out.
on every.
My bad. Yeah, it's already out.
It's on every system. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC.
Here are the ratings. Ready? It's like for those who are like, oh, maybe Golf, Cursed to Golf. Don't know how I feel about getting this game. Here are the ratings. Nintendo Life's 8 out of 10. Pocket Tactics 8 out of 10. GameSpot 9 out of 10. It's pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's honestly a very fun game. I would definitely.
If you were buying it on PC, it is discounted now on the
Yeah,
summer
it's on the
sale.
summer
So,
sale.
like, if you, I mean, obviously you're watching it now if you're watching it live, but you know, it's I don't know, prices probably vary by region. I have
Yeah.
Japanese pricing,
Mhm.
but it's like the equivalent of $12.
would grab.
Yeah.
Would grab, would
Yeah, it's
grab.
like 40% off right now on Steam. And also, we just it's the pre-order period right now for the limited run games physical copy.
Okay.
So
shit.
I know some people are always like, "Oh, I really want to play this game, but I want to own it physically."
Yeah, me too.
Well,
that's me.
here's your chance.
That's literally yeah. I like having the game in hand.
Mm,
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
those dirty companies can't take it from me.
Can't take my games, my
Yeah.
freedom.
And I'm definitely still in the camp, even though I'm not as much a collector anymore. I
Mm.
definitely prefer to have like the physical copy.
Yeah, I want.
Yeah,
the,
I mean,
Yeah.
there is something to be said about like when a store like I don't know, like the Nintendo eShop for like DS or whatever, right? Like that or Wii, like it's just dead.
It's
now.
dead, yeah.
So if you had
Yeah.
games that you'd bought on there,
Fuck you.
tough shit. You
Yeah.
don't you don't
Mhm.
have them anymore, right? So it's like, well, if I had the disc or something, at least
Yeah.
I could play the game again. But
Yep.
now it's just like you're okay, like fuck you,
Get
bye.
fucked, yeah, literally. This is why I'm team physical for life. Like
Mhm.
I've got some games on I got like a fucking Civ 6 like downloaded on the Switch.
Mhm.
Great game, but physical. I wish I bought it physical, honestly. Like just because I think it would run a little bit better as well. You know what I mean? So it's a big chunky game.
I don't
And
know- I don't
physical
know.
games-
Civ 6 on a Switch, I don't know how well it would run anyway.
Bro,
It barely runs on my fucking computer, and I have a
Bro.
good computer.
It runs until you get to like that late game where you're moving like everything at once.
Eight different
Uh-oh.
civilizations are doing stuff at the
Yep,
same time.
Yep.
And then
And then sometimes the Switch is like, hey, bro, hey, chill. You're like, alright, hold
you're
on.
gonna have to put me down and just let me process
No,
this for a
literally,
minute.
I was playing it like just on like the portable Switch on the airplane. I was like playing like a few rounds of Civilization 6, and at one point the Switch was like, "Hey, listen, give me 5, right? Give me
I'm
5."
gonna need to think about it.
It popped up. It went, hey, yo, give me 5. I was like, yo, that's a crazy thing they've programmed in this game.
Everything just started and
Literally,
just like
it's like,
slows
whoa.
way down.
Relax, chill for a minute.
Speaking about games that you've been playing, so Kinsey, what have you been playing? I assume
Let us
that
know.
you've been playing something recently.
Yeah, that was actually.
Oh,
my next
I've
question,
been
good man.
playing so much Zelda. So much
Yes.
Zelda. Oh my gosh. I'm probably at like 200 hours by now. Like
Holy
and
shit.
I've done most of the main story stuff
Mm.
except for like I think the end.
Yeah.
But like I'm like holding off.
That's
like
where
I'm
I'm
not
at. I'm
ready
like,
for it to
I
end.
could go fight the last boss, but do I really want to do that?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
I've
mhm.
started trying to get all the outfits and actually exploring the depths more.
I gotta do that. Yeah.
And yeah, and I like you can unlock the hero mode where you can see like where you've been on the map.
Yeah, that's cool.
I did that.
Yeah.
It's
So then I
neat.
started being
It's
like,
cool.
"Oh, well, I haven't been over there at all."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of why I need the hero mode unlocked, because I forget where I've been, and because the
Oh,
map
same.
is so big, I'm like, wait, have I been here? And then you look at the hero mode and you're like, wow, I've not been to 80%.
Like 80%
yeah,
of this map.
Yeah.
I've just done this back and forth.
back and forth for like 20 hours, bro. Ridiculous. Yeah. But I think I'm in the same position as you. I think I unlocked I did the main missions up until you get all the ghost people.
Mhm.
Mm.
What I forgot they-
Spirits.
Yeah. You get all
What
the
are they
ghost
called?
people.
The
Sages?
stages.
Sages, thank you.
Yeah.
I go to the sages like a few days ago, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the mines to duplicate some diamonds for a bit, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, duplicating diamonds.
I wish I had done that when I had the chance.
Bro, I'll send you the thing. You might be able to still, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I did the frozen meat one, and I think you can still do that one.
You can, yeah.
Okay.
You can,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah.
I got like so because money was always my limiting factor in this
Same.
game. Like I was always broke as fuck.
Yep.
And like I couldn't upgrade my like stuff. I
Anything.
couldn't buy things. I would
Mhm.
never had arrows.
Mhm.
Like and I was like really avoiding the duplication glitches until the meat one. Because number one, the meat one's really easy.
It is.
And I got like 50,000 rupees. And I was like, I'm set for like a while.
That's
I'm gonna
good.
be fine.
Mine is the you go down to the area that's between the depths and the upper world, and you
Mm.
shoot up back into the upper world, and it locks things in place like the arrows,
Mhm.
and then they just fall to the ground. But the problem for that is you need a Linux bow, the triple shot ones.
Yeah.
So the reason I like this glitch is because I'm like, in order for me to get my reward of unlimited diamonds, I now must go out and fight one of these fucking ridiculous Lionels to get the bow and arrow. So it's good. It's a you kill some Lionels, you improve your gaming, and then you get the reward of like 50 diamonds to which you immediately sell.
So did you play the I was gonna say the first game? Did you play Breath of the Wild, Kinsey? I assume you did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Tears of the Kingdom versus Breath of the Wild? Do you like it more? Kind of the same?
I think I like it more because I just feel like it's like Breath of the Wild plus. Like there's so much more to do, and even though I'm not like building crazy mechs because like I'm horrible at that kind of thing. Like I never got into Minecraft. I'm not that person, but I do like building weird janky things.
Me too.
And like you know the signpost guy.
Yeah.
You have to like help.
Yeah.
The things I make to lift that thing up always look so janky and horrible, but it works.
Yeah.
And I love it.
You just bolted like 8 things together and it's
No,
like,
yeah.
it ends up the side. It's fine.
Yeah, literally. That's what I do.
Yeah.
It's bloody. Honestly, that's one of my. Whenever I see him, I'm like, oh my god, the guy. Hold on, I'm gonna help you out, man. Don't just wait right there. Just wait right there. Just stapling shit to the side. There was once where I spent like 10 minutes, like stapling shit to the sign without actually checking how it was gonna fall down, and then like I left it. I was like, hey bro, why don't you try letting go of that sign? And the thing just fell straight. It just fucking immediately fell down. I was like, ah.
I did that too, cause like on the back of one of them, it had like a T kind of thing.
Oh my
where you
god,
could definitely
Yeah.
like, get something in between. I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect. It'll fit perfectly. I got it in there. And he's like, let go, and it just goes.
What?
Like they're pretty few and far between for me now, but I get kind of excited when I see them just because like I'm so far into the game. I've helped most of the guys, but I just recently saw one where he's holding it, but he's holding it like over a cliff.
Oh fuck.
And like that just happened to me, but his whole sign and everything fell off the side of the cliff, and I was like, well.
You're like,
you're gonna have to go get that,
bro. Listen, that's on you. I can't.
Yeah.
Can't help you there.
Why'd you let it go? I didn't tell you to do that.
But like I love those like little side quests. It's weird. I don't love the rescuing the Korok guy.
No, I hate it.
Because like half the time I talk to him and his friend is so far away or the direction I just came from. And I'm like, bro, just get a smaller backpack.
No, 100%.
Like this is on you. This is not, don't make it my problem.
It's very much like that's tough, buddy.
Bro, it's hard.
Yeah.
See ya.
Sometimes like if I can see where they are, there was like the sand, the ones in like the desert. I got a little like sand skidder thing, so I'm like, I'll attach to the sand skidder. We'll skid over there
on the ground.
Literally, like you're fresh meat. Now just do a little drifty thing, release the thing, swing you to where you need to go. Easy clap. Give me my fucking seeds. I need some more swords, you know. But there are times that I'll be like in the wilderness, someone will be like, oh my god, I'm lost and tired, and my friend is just over there, and it's like up a fucking cliff, and I'm like, the fuck want me to do about this? What are you asking me for? Idiot. I'm like, nah. The amount of these guys I've just skipped, I'm like, yeah, nah, that's a you problem. I can't deal with that. Yeah. That's mad.
Whenever I see a guy up a cliff, though, because I pretty much always talk to him just in case it's on my way. But a lot of the cliff ones, there's a rocket right next to him. So I don't spend a lot of time building things, glue them straight to a rocket, and I'm like, let God decide. Bro. If you land up there, I will climb up there and like and finish this. But if I see you go way off into nowhere's land, then that's on you. I'm out.
This is a genius. I'm gonna start using it. That's a genius strat. That's
I do it every time. It's like up a cliff or there's a rocket next to him. I'm like, let's see what fate says.
That's like the most American way to deal with a problem.
Just put a rocket on it.
I'm gonna put a rocket on it and launch it. Let God decide. I'm like, yes, amen, praise, yes, let's get this done. I fucking bro, I'm definitely gonna go home and play that game tonight. I've not played it for a couple days.
Me neither. I haven't played it for a while, and I don't know. I feel like I got like right to the end, like where I can go fight that last boss, and then I've just kind of like fallen off, and like maybe it's just because I'm enjoying it so much I don't want it to end.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah. I just started doing side missions. Like I have so many.
It's so weird for me too because like Breath of the Wild, I
hated that game.
Yeah, like I just completely bounced off that game. I was just like, what do you mean my stuff breaks? Like fuck this. Like this sucks, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Which is weird because there's the exact same thing
Yeah.
in this game. Like it's like literally the exact same system. And I'm like, no, it's perfectly fine. Whatever.
It's just how it is.
It still bothers me a little bit, like, because I feel like my weapon always breaks at the worst time.
Yes.
And I wish that you could just, like,
Yes.
auto-equip the next one in line.
Yes.
Or something. Like, that would be... Because so many times it breaks when I'm in the middle of, like, a harder fight. Then I'm like, fuck, and I'm, like, trying to run away.
I love making, like, cool custom... I like my arsenal, like, kitted out with cool weapons. So all my weapons are currently fucking sick. I've got, like, tons of like one-handed like cool feather dragon swords and like all these like cool big old Lionel axe things, and I'm like, yo, I am the coolest motherfucker in this game. And then I'm fighting like a hobgoblin or some shit and just and I'm like, well that
Right.
That was cool.
Yeah, because the damage to your weapon is not dictated by what you're fighting. Right?
No.
It's just like it takes the same amount of damage whether you hit the level 1 guy or the like
so
super
upsetting.
ones near the end of the game, right?
Dude,
so
it's
like,
so upsetting. So upsetting. Anyway. Guys, let's bring this down for a soft landing. Kinsley, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. I came late today. It was my bad. We were
hang on. I still have questions from Instagram.
I completely
forgot.
forgot.
Go through that.
Yes, before we end the podcast, quicker Instagram questions from the audience. Sorry, audience, I almost completely ignored the questions. My bad, because we'd covered all my questions.
The only ones that matter.
It's always a matter in this podcast.
We can do some rapid fire Instagram questions.
So
Funny.
Okay, here's a good one.
Go on.
What is your favorite video game collector's edition?
Oh,
do you have one?
Ooh, I really like the ones that come with vinyl records. I'm a huge sucker for that. And there's like a few of them out there. Even like games I didn't love, like We Happy Few came with a vinyl, and I'm like, fuck, that's so cool.
That's cool as fuck.
Why don't more things do this? Or like the Ni no Kuni 2 one, the European version came with a vinyl.
Yes, I saw
and the US one was like a trash pile for $200, and I was so upset.
Wow.
Yeah, there's definitely a certain disparity between regions for some stuff.
Yeah, and I like it
a lot of the cool ones.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I like it when things come with something useful.
I agree.
Like Persona 5 came with like a bag that was pretty tight, and like, although then you get into collector brain and you're like, wait, but can I use this bag?
Yeah,
oh no!
You're right.
Oh no!
If it gets damaged.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What have I done?
I get that.
Or like the Fallout lunchbox. For some reason, I absolutely loved that collector's edition. It was so rad.
Was it like a tin lunchbox? Like
yeah, it was a tin lunchbox.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Or like BioShock 2
cool.
was vinyl. It's like a vinyl set, and it was so rad.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never been a
I
person
think I just
to
like
buy
vinyl.
collector's editions ever.
If there's some cool shit, I get tempted, but then I never end up like taking
I
the
never
plunge.
I never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, I think my problem is I'm bad at like planning things in advance. So like I'll be like, wow, that's cool. I'm gonna get this collector's thing. It's like, please order by this date, and I'm like, I'll definitely do that, and then I never do, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I wanted to do that. When was the deadline? 3 months ago. Well,
whoops.
Guess that's that.
I used to be such a sucker for collector's editions. Like if you look at my old YouTube videos, it's all unboxing collector's editions because I was such a sucker.
Yeah.
Like,
cool.
I've learned my lesson in my older age, but I used to just fucking love them.
I get it.
Is that a plushie? Bot. You got me.
Man, I don't
like
have the money for that shit. Like some of those are like upwards of like $200.
Some are very honestly.
Yeah.
Some are
yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I'm glad I broke the habit.
It's true.
I saw recently.
It's true.
Oh, I forget where it was. It might have not been a collector's edition, but they released a vinyl of Mortal Kombat 3's music.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, rad.
But the vinyl is fucking sick because inside the vinyl, it's like pressed, right? The vinyl's like a little bit thicker. Inside the vinyl is like blood.
Oh, I saw that.
It's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
What?
It's super cool looking.
Bro.
I'll see if I can find it right now.
Fucking, you type in blood vinyl Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you just type
2.
in Mortal Kombat 3 vinyl.
Dude, that's the coolest shit.
It's pretty fucking cool.
I think there's like a special like fan made. I think it's Splatterhouse on the NES, and that has the same thing, like the fake blood on the inside of the NES cart, and the NES
so
cart's
cool.
clear. It's
I even
so cool.
own a record player, and that's cool.
Bro, I don't own one, but
Yeah.
I have. I've also found the blood vinyl. It's fucking cool. That's so
rad.
cool.
It's pretty neat.
It's literally, guys, for those like listening, it's literally a white vinyl, like white
Like a
vinyl,
white see-through vinyl.
yeah,
Mhm.
pressed together with you could like the blood like moves around as it plays. Basically, that's
Pretty.
very cool. Fair enough. I'd end up buying that. That would get me. That'd get me pretty hard. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I got a
Please and
couple
thank you.
here. I'm gonna combine some of them because they'll make sense
That's fine.
together. Do you like being a game dev in Japan or in your home country more?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because I guess as far as actual development goes, I didn't really do it in my home country.
Okay, but maybe like as
But-
a producer.
Yeah.
I mean, being in Japan is pretty fucking cool. So, like,
agree.
all professional reasons aside,
Yep.
being in Japan's pretty fucking cool.
Yep.
So I guess I'm gonna have to say being in Japan, like, for a million reasons, like
One
cost
point
of
Japan.
living, healthcare, all the things.
That's right.
Right,
America.
American,
I forgot.
yeah.
Yeah, America. Sorry.
Yeah,
we're
America.
Britain, a Canadian. We never think about
Yeah.
healthcare. It's just, you just get it. It's just free.
All right. What? Okay, I'll combine these together. What is your favorite video game, and what is your least favorite video game? Or like maybe I guess like
Ooh.
least favorite is like game you played and you're like, what is this
It's
garbage?
trash. Yeah. That's a good one actually.
So favorite game is probably Final Fantasy IX.
Yep.
Good choice, good
it's
choice.
a masterpiece. I think I've played it like 20 times. I used to play it once a year. Like, it makes me cry. It's beautiful. It's a
Wow.
beautiful game.
Have
It's
you
a
heard
masterpiece.
the rumors that they've made a remake of it?
I have heard the rumors.
Yeah.
And like, I hope it's real.
I hope that's real because I love Final Fantasy IX as well.
Yeah. And there's the Final Fantasy IX Memoria project, which is like a fan-made
that too.
thing. Even though it's not like playable, but like they recently released like a video of basically the whole intro to the game and then a little bit when you start and can play as Vivi.
Yeah, in Alexandria or whatever before
Yeah.
the thing.
God, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
If-
like, I know
if
it's
the
not real,
game
but
that they remake looks like half as good as that.
yeah.
Awesome.
I'm
Oh,
looking at.
God, it's my absolute favorite.
I'm looking at grabs from Final Fantasy IX.
What's
What a
your
beautiful game.
least favorite? I think that's a harder
Ooh.
question.
That is a harder question. Like, there's games I've played and was like severely disappointed.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'd qualify that as like my least favorite. But I guess, for example, like Infamous Second Son, a lot of people loved it. Gameplay wise, it's great. But they're supposed to be in Seattle and the map is like fucked. It's like not Seattle. And it took me out of the game so much that I got like angry about it. Like, and like I always remember that experience because it's like the map will be like, you've discovered Queen Anne, and I'm like, fuck you, this is not Queen Anne.
No.
Have you been
No,
there?
I didn't. It's not where it is.
It's like 3 blocks down that way.
It's so good.
It was just, yeah. I wouldn't say
Wow.
that's my least favorite, but that's like, as far as a disappointing moment where you're just irrationally angry about a game, I think that's probably the best example.
It seems like a lot of people have the same opinion. It's got mixed reviews. It seems.
Like, the gameplay itself was really fun, and like the studio did a good job, but the map itself completely took me out because they tried to make it so Seattle centric.
I
But
have
it
to
doesn't
imagine
look like
that's
Seattle.
very similar to people who live in New York and play Spider-Man, and they're like, "This is
Oh,
not-
yeah.
this is wrong."
This is just buildings.
Yeah.
This is in New
Yeah.
York.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have to be perfect,
But it has to be
but it
close
could be
enough that
a
it's
little
like,
bit.
recognizable.
Tell
right?
that-
At least inspired by.
Tell
Like-
that to the devs of Persona 5 or whatever who've made like the
we
one,
talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
literally the one-to-one replica of fucking Shin Shibura. Or some
Well,
shit.
Kinsey was talking earlier about Yakuza Like a Dragon, which takes place in Yokohama.
Bro, yes.
And I played that game, and
It's
I've
sick.
been like, it's fucking weird.
It's
to
weird.
Be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a 1-to-1 copy of fucking Chinatown.
Yeah.
That's weird.
You're like, I
Yeah.
could literally find my house in this game. This is crazy.
If it went out that
If it
far.
went out
yeah.
that far,
If it
yeah.
went out
Yeah.
that far,
Yeah.
yeah, it probably could.
Bloody sick, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know if this one fits.
Was it a weird one?
It's not weird, but it like it's who is your inspiration as a game dev? But
I have like some favorite famous game
okay,
devs.
okay,
Like,
let's change
like,
it. Let's
yeah.
change it to that. then.
Okay.
yeah, like Keita Takahashi is probably like my dream like dev to work with. He's the creator of Katamari.
Okay.
Great.
And
game.
like it's like his work is absolutely amazing. And it's partially the reason I wanted to be a game dev in Japan.
Oh wow.
Even though technically I don't think he's here anymore. I think he's in San Francisco. But
Does he work for?
he works
doesn't
for
work for Sony.
Uvula, which is like his own company.
Oh, okay, but they've moved
Mhm.
their office to.
Yeah, they're in San Francisco now.
That makes sense.
But that's probably like my favorite. I guess it could be an inspiration. I mean, I'm not an artist or anything, so it'd be really hard to like see my inspiration in a game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Keita Takahashi.
Alex, that's pretty good.
Mm.
Nice.
Ooh, here's a good one that's like more focused on the actual job. What is crunch like in Japan, or do you have crunch in a indie like dev situation? I assume that there is. If you...
What's crunch?
Crunch
and why
is
is it part of this
basically-
balanced breakfast?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Crunch is basically the game dev term for like copious amounts of overtime.
Oh.
So like it's typically at the end of a project where like your deadline's coming up, but you're not there yet. So everyone works like crazy overtime to get it done.
Oh, crunch time.
Game's still busted. I got a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I
Yeah,
do?
exactly.
I sleep
And
in
like
the office.
yeah, at least in indie, we're small enough that we really try to like never do crunch. Like I'm not saying we've never worked overtime because obviously everyone has for the most part. But like if you have a good producer, you shouldn't have crunch because the schedule was planned properly with a contingency.
It's true.
Bam.
It's true.
Easier said than done though.
It's true. I think when you get to bigger companies, more moving parts, more like other bigger companies saying things they don't understand, that gets added to schedule with no one telling like the actual devs. So it's like, oh yeah, this game that was Sonic, it's now Mario. So change that.
You can just change it, right?
Change
It's
it,
just a
right?
button in Unity.
I'm
Change it.
positive at like bigger companies that
Oh, yeah.
that kind of thing is like definitely happening.
Oh, 100%.
Where like
Yeah.
it's like the end, the final hour, and they're like, could you just put like 50 billion more microtransactions
Oh,
here at the
100%.
end? They're like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
planned for that, and they're like, too bad. The investors say you got to do it. So
This-
fuck
Yeah.
you.
This gun game, great. Can you add a sword?
Yeah.
A sword?
Or like how everybody, I think the most common question you get as a game dev is you release a game and this is if it's a single player game, and everyone's like, oh, can you just add multiplayer? And I'm like, bro, that's like making a whole nother game. Like it's not like a Switch. Like
Right. This feels like a lot of people going like, this game needs a battle royale mode. It's
Oh my god, yeah.
Right.
No, yeah.
like, no, it
like
doesn't.
crazy 100-person networking hell. Like
Yeah, exactly, right?
Just
Dude, this is Skyrim. What are you talking about?
bro.
Yeah.
This is a Wendy's. Can you fuck off? Can you multiplayer? Get fucked. Come on, mate. Relax.
I don't
like
know,
I think
multiplayer's
every
Skyrim.
game I've ever worked on that was single player, like a million comments of, can you just add multiplayer?
Fucking brilliant. Just throw it, just throw it in there. You know when you're coding the game and it has player equal 1, delete 2.
Two.
Done.
Solved.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done it. It's always very funny where
Solved.
people think you can just like switch a number and then suddenly shit just works.
You
Yeah.
copy, then you paste,
Mm.
and then you add 2, and game now multiplayer. I've done it. And
Works,
for
yeah.
GameCube, you do it 4 times because you
You
four
gotta
controllers.
have all the controllers, right?
You gotta have all the
Yeah.
controllers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Listen, I'm not a scientist, but I might just be a game dev, David. Look at that. Look at the powers I have.
Last one from
Give me last
here.
question,
I
David.
guess the question just says, why Japan?
Bro, vibes.
Why not Japan?
I guess what they're actually asking is like, you had the opportunity to come but you
Mhm.
probably, had you gotten offered like a different job somewhere else, it's like, would you have still picked Japan, or like why specifically Japan? Like if you could have, you were
Mhm.
doing producer stuff before, you could have
Mhm.
stayed in America if you really wanted to, right?
Yeah, I actually had a job offer on the table that I kept like delaying answering them, like
Oh,
waiting
shit.
on the Japan job.
Mm.
And it was for like not even game dev. It was a lab manager position at a different soils lab.
Wow. Okay.
And it was in Portland, and they were like waiting on me. They were like, "We'll wait for you because we want you."
Wow.
But I was like really honest. I was like, "Look, there's this other job that's in Japan."
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Yeah." Yeah.
I get
Okay,
it.
I get it.
Okay.
He was like,
Yeah.
shit, we've lost. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
But
But,
we're in
like,
Portland.
when I was in high school,
Mm.
I was kind of a weeb because it was like 2000,
Yeah.
I mean, you
and like
come to Japan, you got to be like, at least this much.
of a
yeah,
weeb, yeah.
like
You
I
know,
took
it's
Japanese
the-
in high school. I was
this
in
high to
Japan
ride side.
club.
Mm.
Like, so it was kind of always in the back of my mind where like this might be a place I want to end up.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually go on vacation here until my 30s because like I kind of assumed I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, people do
So
that. Mm.
yeah, so there was just that thing in my head that I was like, one day I'll be able to go.
Mm,
And then I went, and then I went again, and then I went again, and then it just kind of became a thing.
Yeah.
And then I started like talking about it a bunch on YouTube,
Mhm.
and like it just kind of ended up happening. Like, hey, you really like Japan, like you're good at PR. Like, what if you just work for us?
Mm.
So I think it was
There you
kind
go.
of weirdly a long time coming. Like I was gonna end up here eventually, one way or another.
Mhm. That's nice, actually. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. To be fair, yeah, it kind of proves the point I've been saying before, is like consistency is key for everything. If you're
Mhm.
constantly doing something to a good level, you're putting yourself out there, eventually someone's gonna know it's the cool shit you're doing, and opportunities will eventually sort of come.
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah.
fantastic. Bloody fantastic. And what, David, that's the last question?
Yeah, that was the last question, I believe. Hang on,
Thank
let me
you,
scroll.
loyal viewers. Fucking great questions for the
Yes.
audience.
Yeah,
Great
thank you
questions
so
from the
much.
audience.
This is so
Thanks,
fun.
guys. Absolute pleasure. Whoosh. Guys, we are going to call it there. Kinsey, thank you so much
Mhm.
for coming on to the Tokyo Fresh podcast. Please shout out socials, anything you want to plug. Please plug away.
You can follow me on basically everything on the internet at Kanzilla, Kanzilla, and you can follow all things Chuhai Labs at Chuhai Labs on all the things. And
Fantastic.
buy Curse to Golf right
Yeah,
now
buy
because it's
Curse
on
Golf.
sale.
Buy it right now. It's on sale. Look. Buy it right now. It's on sale.
For at
Right
least
now.
another 2 weeks, so
At
like
least of 2 weeks.
you have no excuse.
Nice. All the links will be down in the description. We'll probably link the games and all the socials as well. But guys, it's been an absolute bloody pleasure. I will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.